Intuitive viewers, how's everybody? Hope everyone's doing well. I hope you had a nice Thanksgiving. I had planned to come on earlier. I had kind of a busy week. I didn't realize um, how busy I was with readings this week. So next week's a little lighter. So I'm hoping to get on at least. My goal is a couple times a week to hopefully get on. But if there's something pressing that comes, I will definitely jump on and tell you about it. Um, but we're in kind of a transitional thing with the channel right now, just in the how it's being done and uploaded and everything. So we're still just kind of in the midst of that. So trying to figure that out. And yeah, it's just been kind of a transitional thing. So hopefully it will get better. And I'm so sorry some of you weren't able to see the last video that I put up. It was something to do with it being put up and then taken down and put back up. I remember before there was problems with that. Once it was put back up, some people couldn't get into it. So hopefully I'm going to have my daughter look at that. I'm going to have Cassie look at that. And then also this one should not have that problem. So hopefully you're seeing it, and hopefully you get this message that the other one we'll figure it out, and we'll try to fix that so that you can see that one. But so let's move on. Okay. I hope everyone had a nice Thanksgiving. Like I said, ours was pretty quiet. I think most people's were pretty quiet for those, who stayed home. But it was nice. It was nice, and I actually had readings that day, so it was really nice. And I just want to say thank you to everybody that has booked a reading or done the classes. I've gotten such wonderful feedback. Everybody's so nice whenever I do a reading. They're very understanding that I am not perfect. I do the very, very best that I can. I try my hardest with every reading, and this is not a perfect practice. I wish it was. I wish it was perfect. It's pretty good, but it's not. It's never going to be perfect. But I do really enjoy it. So thank you so much for trusting me to do your readings. Okay. All right. So I want to tell you about just a few channels. One is Andre Carr, and the title for YouTube is Election 2020 Astrology, and you'll like that channel. It's very, it is what it says it is, so you'll really like it. The other one is Lynn at Lynn Tarot Readings. You'll love her. She's feisty and funny, and she can't stand Trump, so it's really fun to watch her. But yeah, she's a kick, so you'll like her too. So check out those two. And then I also want to tell you about Lizanne. Her daughter is doing, we talked about Jean Shabbat, who does she did the Lucy, it's up on the wall now, but Lucy's painting that you probably remember seeing. It's up on the wall now. Where is it? There it is. But she is doing pet portraits. So you can look on the other video and look below. There's a thing to get in touch with her if you'd like her to do a pet portrait for Christmas. Whoops. And then Lizanne, her daughter, is doing them, and they're really sweet. They're kind of more modern in a way, or they're kind of a more modern style in a way, because they're very conceptual in a way. So you'll have to look at them. They're really cute though, and they're pet portraits. And she's doing them just for donations. She wants to do it for just whatever donation you want to give, and she's going to give it to the Georgia Senate race. So I thought that was really nice, and I think she just wants to practice doing them, and she just enjoys it. So, but her name is, I don't know what her name is, but her mother's name is Lizanne, and you can find her at Instagram at Funny Friends Portraits, and that's capital F, or at Funny Friends Portraits, and it's capital F for funny, capital F in friends, capital P in portraits, and then the friends is with a Z. I will put that in, I'll put the link below so you can check that out. And if you're interested in her, but you don't have Instagram, just send me an email that says furry portraits or furry friend portraits, and I'll just forward and just say, I'd like information on, the portraits, and I'll forward it to her mom, okay? Because I've got her email. All right, guys, so let's get down to business. So I wanted to start by talking about on, I think it was Tuesday evening, I want to say, I kind of had a meltdown on on Facebook, and I just kind of lost it with a relative who is a Trump person, and they had said something that was to the effect of this stuff with kids in cages never happened, something, it was all debunked, it was all a lie. And I just kind of lost it. And after I got off of Facebook, and I felt bad that I'd lost it, but I also felt kind of scared because it felt like it was very out of character for me to be so, and I knew that. I knew that it wasn't really my character to do that. So I thought, what is going on here? So I kind of just got into some like meditative, a meditative state, and asked my guides to tell me what was going on, what's going on with me. Why did I do that? And as loud as could be, I heard PTSD. And so I thought, okay, I need to look this up. I need to look up PTSD. So I looked up PTSD, and it is one of the symptoms of PTSD. One of the things that happens is you have angry outbursts like that. And I also heard my guide say gaslighting, that was going to be a trigger for me. That might not be a trigger for you, but it would be a trigger for me. But you may have other triggers that trigger you into lots of different kinds of things. You can feel anxiety, worry, have nightmares. This is a real thing. And my guides, I really felt strongly they wanted me to talk to you about it and to let you know that you need to, one of the best defenses for it is just to know that it's, it may be something you may be experiencing. It kind of takes away its power. When you're unaware of it and you're just kind of flying off the handle here and there and everything, you just think you may put it down to something else. I'm having a bad day, or I'm feeling whatever. I'm overtired or whatever, but this is real, and it's going to be real for us as a collective, but also as individuals, and different things may set us off at different times in different ways. And so I did find a website, and it's called a narcissist support narcissistabusesupport.com. It's all one thing. And that's basically what we've been living under. That was the first site that came up for me, and it was like that. This is why we're having it, is because we've been in a relationship with a narcissist for 4 years that's been being cruel to us, gaslighting us, doing horrible things that we've witnessed. And so it's left us all kind of traumatized. And so if that wasn't enough, I knew my guides wanted me to talk to you about it, but wasn't it enough? The first person after this happened that I got on the phone with for a reading was a person who is a specialist in PTSD. It was just the weirdest thing. So I said, well, I have to talk about this. I know I do. And I also know that in the comments, if you guys have experienced stuff, or if you want to know about these things, I talk to a lot of counselors and psychiatrists in my readings. So I know that there would probably be some of those people on the comment section, but also you guys are each other's helpers, and you're so wonderful to jump in when somebody's having a problem or a bad day, and helping them to get through it. So if you've been experiencing this stuff and it has left you kind of feeling bad, depressed, sad, angry, whatever, feel free to talk about it in the comments as well, because this is real and it's something we are really going to be experiencing. I always think of PTSD as being, I always think of the military, but PTSD can be in coming out of any kind of traumatic or abusive relationship. So we're experiencing that, and we are. And I guess what kind of puzzled me too was that this is it's pretty much over. You know, he's on his way out the door. He's still doing obnoxious things, and he's breaking the furniture and breaking dishes as he leaves like a big baby. But but a lot of the anxiety we had before the election isn't there, but it feels almost more intense in some ways. And that's the PTSD, because it is kind of over, and that's when it's post-traumatic stress syndrome. So that's when it's going to show up. So even though you may think, the election's over and he's leaving, what is my problem? That's what it is, okay? So just know that we're going to be experiencing this. We'll all be experiencing it as a collective and as individuals. And we might notice it in each other as well, in family members or friends who've been very involved in the Trump saga and all of this stuff going on in the country. Not everybody has been 100%, but then on top of that, we also have COVID that we're still dealing with and grieving from. So we're a mentally, emotionally kind of sick country right now. And that leads me into the next thing I wanted to read on for you guys was about Biden, because I wanted to look at, I know that he said, I don't want to, deal with Trump. We need to move on, blah, blah, blah. What I got, and this is what I wanted to make sure that you guys knew, and that so you didn't feel like he's going to just let Trump get off scot-free. What I saw is the fact that he doesn't want to be associated with Trump. This is the way it came out to me. It was like he doesn't want to be associated with Trump. He really wants to be seen as completely separate from Trump. He doesn't want him to be part of his own presidency. He wants to, for us to think of him being kind of being separate and on its own, away from Trump, almost like a safe harbor for us. It's very smart. I think it's very smart, not only because of the emotional turmoil we've been in, but also for him to have his presidency kind of stand alone and be considered as a separate thing to Trump. He's going to let his department, the vice president, people, the states go after him, other countries go after him. And his standard answer, we may hear it over and over again, is that no one's above the law, and that he doesn't have any say either way. These are separate entities from him. The AG is a separate entity. He put him in place, but he's a separate entity from him. So he's going to kind of divorce himself and his administration, his own, personal administration, from Trump, partly because he doesn't want that on him, which you can kind of understand, but also he doesn't want to be seen as adding to the trauma, the stress and the strain that we've been through. He wants to be a safe harbor. He wants to be seen as the healer. And so that's what's going on there. So don't really take what he says to heart as far as Trump facing justice. It's going to take a little time, but he will. And I feel like right out of the gate, there's going to be people coming after him. I also heard my guide say he wouldn't have there wouldn't be any good days really left for him. He's going to be spending a lot of his time trying to hold on to anything that he has. Things are going to be starting to be stripped away from him. And we will see it, and also understand too that his followers may follow him for a little bit, be upset, follow his, because he's going to kick up dust and kick up his drama like he always does, and have some other birther thing that he comes up with. But his followers will start to fall away because the country is going to be moving in a different direction. And like I said, I felt like with Biden that they really felt like economics would be their way to kind of lure his people away from him and to kind of lure them back into being a normal part of society again, having jobs and, like I said, and putting like factories and things for like green energy and stuff in different kinds of places that have really had trouble keeping jobs, like in Michigan and in some of the places in the South and some rural places. It seems like they're going to really try to pull these people in by making them part of the economics of the United States again, being involved, having a stake, having something to lose. When you have something to lose, you don't want to be a radical. You don't want to go out and just you have something to lose, so you don't want to. You want to try to maintain things and keep them safe and keep them orderly. Follow the law and things like that. So that's going to be their plan to try to kind of lure these people away, because really that a lot of them, that is what they want, is just stuff we all want. A lot of these younger men that have gotten involved with Trump, you saw them with the torches and stuff like that, and a lot of them are just they don't see a lot of hope for the future, because either you can't afford to go to college or you exit college with being $100,000 in debt. I mean, that isn't a great way to start out with a lot of hope. I do feel like there's going to be a huge push for jobs, job growth, green energy jobs, infrastructure jobs, and getting rid of student debt. There's going to be definitely some add-ons to healthcare. I do feel like there'll be the public option, and eventually it will lead into Medicare for all, something like that, some kind of universal healthcare program. That will take a little bit of time, but I feel like some of the changes are pretty fast. So just know that, and also know that some of these things that have seemed like it's going to take forever to reverse, it really won't. It's going to be pretty fast. So I wanted to let you know that. The other thing that I was picking up on as they introduced his team, they almost looked like the Avengers standing out there, was I actually don't think she was there, but they talked about her, his Treasury Secretary. I feel like she's going to have a few hearings coming up in the next couple of years, about money that, to me, it seems like money that was misappropriated. Misappropriated, that's the word I'm hearing. Okay, so misappropriated, whatever that means, and just not used in a way that was that it was supposed to be used for. And also there's going to be money missing, money that they can't account for. The thing about her, what came up for me when I started to get information on her, was that she's extremely, I don't know if she has a law background, but there's something about her and being very up on the laws as far as the Treasury is concerned. And so she really has this wealth of knowledge to bring to the Treasury Department. And she's also brilliant. I mean, to me, she just came across like this very brilliant woman, and they were going to treat her like a little old lady. And she's not that. She's extremely, not that little old ladies can't be all the great things, but they're going to think that they can dismiss her in some way. And they really can't. And they're going to completely underestimate her and her ability to find stuff. So just know that in the next couple of years, I just kept seeing like a couple of big trials to do with the money, and bringing Mnuchin back and being like, kind of putting him under the gun a little bit. There's also some charges coming for DeJoy, but I feel like it's about his own like company. To me, it could be connected to the post office, but to me it feels more personal, like it's his personal stuff. So it will kind of be like he gets his just desserts, but it may not be for exactly what he did. It could be for other things that he's doing. These guys are all just a bunch of grifters, and women are, they're just all a bunch of grifters, and so a lot of them will be facing, justice in a lot of ways. A lot of like seizing assets, fining, going through trials, and having their money eaten up by court costs and that kind of thing. But I did see DeJoy going through quite a bit, and Mnuchin as well. I also saw, for Trump, I feel like some of his biggest issues may be not in our country. I feel like they might be in other countries that he's done crummy things in. I also got, when I was looking at the Avengers team, one of the men I felt would go after this stuff with on the border. I felt like he would save DACA. That was like one of the first things I felt like he would do. The other thing I felt was that he would and shore up DACA. There's something about shoring it up, making so that that doesn't happen again. So there's something about shoring up DACA. And then the other thing I felt like he would do is move heaven and earth to find these parents of these children that were put in cages at the border. And he's going to also dig for people that are to be held responsible. Apparently, they didn't say this. This is just things I picked up on just watching what they were doing. Just when they would come up, I would just start to get pictures and words and things that were coming. But I felt like this particular band that's going to be looking into these things was particularly affected and horrified by the kids at the border. He really is so anxious to get in there and figure out what happened, who's to be held accountable, and fixing it in whatever way they can, giving people asylum, giving people an access to becoming citizens, speeding up the process for people, helping to pay reparations in some cases for people that were sent back, things like that. He's just it's almost like he wants to just mitigate the damage and really try to make up for what our country did. So just know that there's somebody that's going to be on that stuff from day one, because I just felt like it was such, and I've got like chills right now, such a priority for this man. We're going to have a big some kind of big dust up with Russia almost right away. They're going to give information. They're going to give information about Trump. I just saw that. And it's almost to try to stop our government from coming down too hard on them. I feel like they give information about how things were done, how information was traded. It comes across as like traded information. Yeah, there's a lot to come out. I did feel that Jared Kushner would spend time in jail. I don't know how soon that is. I feel like it might be a little ways down the road, but I did feel like, and it's weird because the way I got it was through Ivanka, because I just felt like her husband's going to be in jail. That's what it felt like. And they're going to lose a lot of money. I feel like they're going to be living on off of like friends and borrowing money and trying to keep their head above water. It's not going to be a pleasant existence in any way, shape, or form. I do worry, not worry. I do see trouble for Don Jr.'s mental health. I already feel like there might be some stuff going on there. Weird things like paranoia, kind of abusive, and this is for entertainment purposes only. I do feel like some of it is like using drugs in a way to try to like medicate what's going on, but I do feel like there's something else going on with him that's kind of weird. And so this isn't, yeah, it's not good. People also asked me if I thought he and Ivanka would get divorced, Trump and Ivanka, and or Ivanka, I meant Ivana, but he's not married to Ivana, Melania. Melania would get divorced, and I did, I think you wouldn't have to be intuitive to know that, there's not a huge amount of love lost between them. The only thing that's interesting about her, though, is that she does believe a lot of his stuff. I mean, she does believe a lot of the things he tells her about stuff. She's kind of gullible. So, he may be able to keep her around a little bit longer than we think, but I feel like she is ready to go. So, I always felt like she might end up just marrying somebody rich and foreign and leave the United States. So that's what I kind of thought. And also in an effort, I think, to protect Barron from what may be coming for the Trumps. I think the writing's going to be on the wall pretty soon. So, okay, so I think that's it for now. I'll be on again this week. I'm not sure when. It will probably be Friday. And I'm going to, like I said, I'm going to do my best to get on at least a couple times a week to give you guys updates, because I know as we get closer to the inauguration, information is going to be kind of coming more quickly, because it will be more clear as to what's going to be happening. I think right now we're in a lot of flux. I think people are still deciding what to do. Trump is to me, he's going back and forth between having some hope. Maybe there might be I feel like people are lying to him and saying, oh yeah, you can get, but I think part of it's to placate him, make him like calm down. The other is to try to milk more money out of the government or out of him. And so, to get whatever money he's getting, but I feel like, so that's part of it. But I feel like, sometimes he kind of believes that stuff, and then other times he sees like the writing on the wall, and that he needs to get into another phase to figure out what to do. So I feel like in his own way, he's kind of starting to face reality, but he's so angry and so disgusted with the people he felt should have been there for him and should have done, should have protected him, basically. Putin, people like that, that he felt should have had his back and should have protected him and should have made sure nothing happened to him. But the truth is, Putin doesn't care about him. He doesn't care. He just wanted what he wanted. So he got what he wanted. Pretty much. So not everything, but pretty much what he wanted. And now he's in trouble. So yeah, so that's what I see where he is right now. So he's kind of somewhere on that line of accepting it and not accepting it, and he may just be there till next month. So we'll kind of watch him, and But yeah, he's not happy, and he's very determined to make things as unpleasant and unhappy for Biden as possible, which is just sad. He's just a sad little man, and pretty soon he'll be gone. But so you guys take care. Watch for PTSD stuff. If you go to that website, narcissist abuse support.com, you'll see a whole page of what it's about, what the symptoms of it, what you can expect, what how it happens, why it happens, and then ways to kind of help. So look at that and check it out. And if you've already been having symptoms, now you know what it is. But I really felt like my guides are like, you have to talk about this, because it's going to be a thing that we'll be going through for a while. Probably, I think we'll be at least experiencing this stuff through spring, because we'll still be dealing with COVID and everything. And I think we'll have some delayed reactions as we come out of these things. And we're all grieving, and we're all in mourning, and we're all trying to cope with what we've just been through with this idiot president. So just be aware of that. I hope that helps. I hope that that helps going forward as well, because that's all I want to do, is just try to make this as painless as possible for all of us. Okay, so everybody, I hope you guys have a great week. I will try to come on Thursday or Friday, and please take care. The last thing I would tell you is that Cassie's blog is up. She did a recent article on the different versions of the Wizard of Oz. So if you're interested in that, she talked a little bit about that on the Psychic Sisters channel with us. And we talked about film and the arts, and it was fascinating. And people wrote me afterwards and said, oh, I would love to hear more about the Wizard of Oz and all the different versions, and why they were that way, and what in history was happening at the time. And so if you're interested in that, that's at medium.com. Just put in her name, Cassie Carey. Read the article. It's a blog. Read the blog. Give her a clap. Follow her. She'll be thrilled, and I'll have her put the link below as well. Okay? All right, everybody. Take care. Have a great week. Take deep breaths. We're almost to the finish line. We passed the finish line, but we're almost to Inauguration Day. So, and it just gets, it'll just get better. Okay? All right. Take care, guys. Bye.